Yes. I'd like at this time to recognize Cookie Kennedy. She's our representative for Forward Pinellas, and she's going to talk to us a little bit tonight. Cookie?
Good evening. Nice to see everybody again. I brought you a pamphlet of some of the things that we've been doing for the last 18 months. Enhancing the beach access, some of our Vision Zero, the bike lanes. I wanted to talk to you about, my term is up in December, and I'd like to be reappointed again, and so I wanted to just further tell you about, if you remember in 2014, that's when we did the unification of the PPC and the MPO. So since then, all of these things we've been working on, I frequently go to the cities, try to keep in touch with all of you. If there's anything that any of you are looking for, I always hope that all of you contact me. We've created a really great relationship with FDOT, which led to safety enhancements throughout the beach communities concerning bike lanes and crosswalks. And the greening of the bike lanes is going to start in the end of this year, all throughout all the 10 beach communities. FDOT had a safety summit in January, and 3 counties were represented, and they asked me to speak as far as Gulf Boulevard and some of the enhancements and the issues that we are facing as far as congestion. And I talked about Good and Plenty, and the reason, there's a little article, that story that they wrote about the Good and Plenty, which is a candy. It's an old school candy, so I think maybe a couple people might know what that is. But the whole idea was we want a lot of good and plenty of safety enhancements for the Gulf Boulevard. We changed our name. We have a brand new name. It's called Forward Pinellas, and we changed our name because we have a new director, and we created 3 priorities, one of those being beach access, and our chairman is Jim Kennedy. We held an enhancing spotlight at Madeira Beach, and citizens were all invited. Everyone was invited in May, and we actually asked, questions as far as for citizens, workers, business owners, and elected officials to tell you what they are looking for from us. And it was really great. In fact, of the 3 spotlight areas that we are working on, it had the most people. So that was really great. We're working on water transit service with Forward Pinellas through the Intercoastal. And just one of the highlights, we went to, I went with the director, his name is Whit Blanton, and we went to Washington. We had a meeting with David Jolly's staff and one with Senator Nelson, and we have projects. We kind of told them about the beaches, because we want to make sure, especially Senator Nelson, we want him to know what our concerns are, the problems we have with congestion when the tourists are here in the winter. And it was a really great meeting. And as a result of that meeting, we have a project from Bel Air Beach, Treasure Island, and Indian Rocks Beach being submitted to each of those officials. The greatest achievement, I think, for us is our positive relationships. Being the first representative, I just felt like I'm just going to take this the way I would want if I was the elected official sitting in front of you, how I want to make sure that we're all informed, and that you have access to me, and that if you have a problem with FDOT or the county or Forward Pinellas, that you know that I'm there to fight for you. So we're all trying to work together, and I really appreciate the opportunity, and there will be a resolution at some point, and I'm hoping that you will pick me again for the next 2 years. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I don't know if anybody has any questions or... No.
Anybody have anything? Doesn't look like it.
Thank you very much.
Commission reports. I will start it out with During the tropical storm, which later turned into a hurricane, Hermine, on Friday, the 2nd of September, as a lot of you know, there was a fire in the north end, or north end of our town, right out of our town into, actually in Indian Shores. And that fire started around 6:30 or something like that, and I think they determined it to be a lightning strike. That's all I'm going to say right now about it, and I'd like to introduce Chief Hughes to say some more.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, first of all, I'd like to bring up my officers that we're here to talk about. You guys want to step up? Officer Patch, Officer Holmes, and Officer Kennedy. It was with great honor and pride that the Indian Shores Police Department, and on behalf of the citizens of Indian Shores and Rancho Shores, wish to commend these fine officers on their life-saving actions of September 2nd, 2016. At approximately 6:56, these brave officers smelled smoke, responded to a structure fire at 18840 Gulf Boulevard, and without any thought to their own safety, immediately started life-saving actions to ensure all residents were evacuated from the burning building. They started banging on doors to alert residents of the fire and were able to evacuate 6 people from the burning structure. 4 victims were immediately found, and once they found them, Officer Kennedy guided them to safety, while Officer Patch and Holmes went to the rear of the complex to look for additional residents or victims by going up the rear stairway. It was then that Officer Patch and Holmes were able to evacuate 2 more residents to safety, but not before Officer Patch succumbed to smoke inhalation due to the increasing intensity of the fire and smoke. Officer Patch was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation and has since been released, and they expect to make a full recovery. I cannot honor and praise these officers enough for their heroic deeds, as on this day, they became a true meaning of the Indian Shores Police Department motto, to protect with honor, to serve with pride. Thank you, gentlemen, for a job well done.
I would just like to add that I have always been very proud of this group since I've been here 21 years. And for our little bit of appreciation for that, hope I'm in the right order, Tim, you know me. Congratulations.
Thanks, sir. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do, every minute you do it.
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
glad to see you back out here breathing good.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
I was right.
Go ahead.
Not supposed to hit.
It's a special one, too.
Talk a little bit more about Tropical Storm Hermine. We did pretty well. I think we gave out about 14 yards of sand for sandbags. I think the most problem, which is always with rain and high tide, is north end of town around 180th and 182nd. But to my knowledge, I don't believe any water got in any houses. I think we shut the roads down up there, did we not, Chief?
Yes, sir.
And,
182nd were shut down.
There was no calls in from residents.
no call for that.
No, I've actually,
Could've happened, but-
yeah, I had emails saying that the sandbag saved them, so.
Good. So anyway, I'm glad we made it through that, and let's just hope,
It's over.
It's over. We don't see another one this year. That does it for my report. Vice Mayor Holmes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Seminole Fire Services, there were 3 non-emergency fire responses with a time period with an average response time of 10 minutes and 19 seconds. There were 6 emergency fire responses for the time period with an average response time of 7 minutes and 57 seconds. Excuse me. Emergency medical services, there were 4 non-emergency EMS responses during the time period for an average response time of 5 minutes and 3 seconds. And there were 11 emergency EMS calls for this time period with an average response time of 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Now I'd just like to add to what the mayor had to say about the tropical storm or tropical depression, tropical storm, Hurricane Hermine. And we're pretty fortunate when it came past us, it was still a tropical depression, or when we got some of the impact from it. And as he pointed out, we did obviously get some beach erosion because of the pounding waves and the tidal surge. The sewer system personnel were probably as overwhelmed as the system was. They put in an awful lot of overtime, but they did an outstanding job. And I'd also like to thank Mary and Tracy for keeping up with the county EOC operations, at least 2 times every day. It's at 9 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, and sometimes in between, that they were in contact with all of the communities on what was happening and what was going on throughout the communities. So I'd like to thank both of them. Mary picked a lousy week to be on the beach, but they made it close by, so she didn't have very far to go when she was needed. And we thank her and Tracy. That's all I have.
Thank you, and I'd like to add to that, Mary was on vacation that week. I don't know how many times I saw her here in the office. Thank you, Mary. That's Commissioner Branch.
Okay, I would like to mention one thing about our police. That's what my report is mainly about. A lot of people don't realize that our mayor was a policeman of the city of Tampa for a good many years, and he also flew the choppers for them. And I happened to be a fireman for a good many years with the city of Tampa. So first responders don't know what they're getting into. As you just saw these 3 men here, they had a fire. First of all, they got their job done by getting the people out of the buildings and so forth, whatever was necessary there, making the place safe as it could be. This 9/11 that we just went through yesterday, those men went into those buildings, which you normally would go into a place like in Tampa. We go into those high-rise and you'd think nothing was going to happen, and all of a sudden the roof comes down and everything else. But please try to remember these people. And when you see one sitting around the fire station or the police station, say, boy, are we lucky he's sitting there. Nobody's in trouble. Most people want to know, well, why weren't they out doing this or doing that? Hey, when he's in that station, nobody's in trouble. But when he's out on the road, somebody's going to get it or in trouble. And that's my main thing. I have a granddaughter whose daddy was killed in the city of Tampa as a policeman. It was Randy Bell, Detective Randy Bell, and so forth. And of all things, she decided to become a policeman, and she is a policeman now down in Fort Myers, and so forth. And that's my report. And the one thing was that I was glad they put in the paper, of all the burglaries that we had in cars, every one of them was left unlocked. So please lock your cars when you get out. Now, it took me 6 months to learn how to lock mine, but they would have had to get me in the yard. All these buttons and things on these cars and now today, I don't know. But anyway, that's it. And that's just as the mayor says, let's hope everything's over with now. We lost a lot of mulch and the water came up over the seawall, but we stayed dry. And everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Branch. Commissioner Henderson?
I just have shortness here. Just wanted to tell everyone that we have launched the website and it is amazing. And thank you to DeBerry Designs for helping and Mary and the staff for working tirelessly on getting this launched and launched ahead of time. So please take a moment and look at it. It's got a lot of bells, whistles, and functionality to it that we never had before. Your phone actually understands it, so it's fantastic. And I also wanted to remind you that the town picnic is Saturday, October 8th. I think it starts at 1, Mary?
Correct.
Starts at 1, but I'm sure we'll have people early. See you then. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Henderson. On the old business, second reading to advertise public hearing, ordinance 16-01, amending chapter 59, sections 4 and 5, abandoned property on beaches. Attorney Rubenstein.
Ordinance number 16-01, an ordinance of the town of Redington Shores, Florida, pertaining to abandoned property on beaches, parks, or other public property, amending section 59-4 of the code of the town of Redington Shores, Florida, pertaining to the placement of any chair, lounge, tent, canopy, volleyball net, or other such item on the public beach, parks, or other public property, amending section 59-5 of the code of the town of Redington Shores, Florida, pertaining confiscation of abandoned property by the town, providing for the inclusion of such amended ordinances in the code of the town of Redington Shores, Florida, providing an effective date.
Make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 16-01 on second reading as
Second.
stated.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Branch?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Holmes?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. On the new business, resolutions 8-16, supporting home rule powers and requesting legislator to amend S1 509.032 in Florida by Florida statute.
Resolution number 08-16, a resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Redington Shores, Florida, expressing that the Town of Redington Shores and its residents unanimously support home rule powers of municipalities and requesting the Florida Legislature to amend Section 509.032 Florida statutes to repeal the restrictions on local laws, ordinances, and regulations that regulate vacation rentals, providing an effective date.
Make a motion to adopt resolution number 08-16 as stated.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Branch?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Holmes?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Next, approval of 5-year capital improvement plan 2017 through 2021.
I make a motion that we adopt the capital improvement plan 2017 through 2021 as stated.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Branch?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Holmes?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Next, approval of records disposition.
On 916?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's all right.
9-16.
Well, that's all right. We're going to do that one first. Resolution, sorry, I skipped one. Resolution 09-16, approving the annual CIE element.
Resolution number 09-16, a resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Redington Shores, Florida, reviewing the annual amendments to the town's capital improvement element schedule of projects and approving and adopting of the same, providing an effective date.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 09-16 as stated.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Branch?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Holmes?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Next, approval of the records disposition.
I make a motion that we approve the records disposition as stated on the documents presented.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Branch?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Holmes?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Public comments. Hearing none, the next meeting, special meeting, it'd be Monday, September 19th, 2016, at 5:15 PM for the final budget hearing. Next meeting is a workshop meeting, Wednesday, September 28th, 2016, at 7 PM. Then the record meeting, Wednesday, October 12th, 2016, at 7 PM. With that, this meeting is adjourned.
Mary,